All right, before we begin our public comment, I'd like to recognize Councilmember Ahmed.
Sorry, everyone, if you'll indulge me for one moment. When I started on this council, we started on Zoom. It was pre-vaccine COVID, so a lot of my family members weren't able to join me. I just wanted to thank my brother, Akash Raman, who's here today visiting from San Francisco. This is his first time at City Hall. And I think he's one of only 2 family members who've ever visited the building, because I don't have a lot of family in LA outside of my own immediate family. So welcome to my brother. I hope he gets a chance to say hi to all of you.
Welcome to Los Angeles and welcome to City Hall.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
I guess just all items, so I don't have to look at the list. I can just go over them.
So you have 3 minutes for the items. Please begin.
All right, so let's start off with the agenda items. Hang on. Okay, let's see. We have item 22. That is additional community services in CD15. What are those services? It just says they're services. What exactly is being approved today? It doesn't say. So we need to find out what those services are before we get a vote here, I think, so that we know what exactly you're voting on, because currently we have no idea what those services are. We have tree trimming in CD3. Here's 24. This is a motion to fund overtime salaries for cops in CD3, which Blumenfield has it disguised as traffic safety measures. It's not traffic safety measures to pay overtime to cops. That traffic safety measures are, things like putting calming infrastructure in there to try to reduce crashes, slow people down, installing bike lanes, bus lanes. It's not providing overtime for cops. That doesn't make anyone safer. That's not even a traffic safety measure in the, if you're actually, interpreting cops as public safety. That's just not traffic safety measures. That's just overtime for cops. So you're being deceptive in the way you're phrasing it on there. So definitely vote no on that, because that's just overtime for cops. That's not traffic safety measures. You know it's not traffic safety measures. Stop trying to mislead the public. We have community cleanup services in CD5. Oh, we have fencing at the Bridge Home in CD11. Is this to try to trap the unhoused people in there or something? Not really sure what that is. But yeah, I mean, it's just, all more corruption, more racism, more, yeah. And if you gotten that 2/3 vote to change or suspend the rules to move general comment to the end?
So, Mr. Graebner, this is not on topic, so if you'd like to use the remainder of your time for the items that are open, please go ahead.
Okay, can you give me the date of the vote and the time and what the results were?
So again, this is not on topic, so we're going to move on to the next speaker. Thank you. Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Yeah, I'd like to speak on all items, 3 minutes, and my
Okay.
1 minute. And
So you have 3 minutes for the items. Please begin.
4 minutes, you said? 4?
3 minutes for the items.
Well,
Your time has begun.
Let us shine some light on that, Mr. Grove, because you apparently don't understand what street lighting is emphasized for. It's to stop the pollution of your organized crime, where homeless people are denied access to street lighting to protect them from the elements that are out there, especially on cold, dark nights. So you can stand there like Curran Price and tell me a lie, but the truth is we need more street lighting to prevent these issues like what's going on in the subway. People are being hurt, people are being stabbed. It's frequent, it's unconscionable to think about, and it's time that the city attorney get involved in matters that are important to the public's interest of safety. Matter of fact, look at item number 24. Do you see that, Grove? Traffic safety. But yet you have an issue like the president man up there who finds it that it's necessity and convenience to instruct us to provide more alcohol while Raman Noodle and her brother take pictures there. What's more important, public safety or the fact that you want to celebrate that your brother's in town from San Francisco? So in District 3, there is no public safety. That's the bottom line. Snitches get stitches. We're the hit-and-run capital of the world. How many more lives are we going to involve with these measures of public traffic safety when you damn well know that this council has not done anything to eliminate the problems with excessive, inappropriate drinking and providing us with necessity and convenience of alcohol? You are the problem. Let's go to item number 14. Am I on topic, Mr. Fauble? Oh, I'm sorry, Circle K. I'm talking about Hollenbeck Park. The only person there who's interested in Hollenbeck Park is Kevin DeLeon. Kevin DeLeon understands what it's like to shine light on Trump. And that's what I appreciate about my councilman and his Prop 218 public announcements for tabulation of ballots. Because you continue to allow Price to bring
So,
in...
Mr. Herman, this doesn't appear to be on topic.
Well,
So
it
again,
is.
if you'd
It's
like
dealing
to
with
identify an
Proposition
item
218
that is open for public
involves the
comment,
budget, and
please
the
go ahead
budget
and
is a part
continue.
of what
If not,
Kevin
you're going to
DeLeon is
forfeit your
all
time.
about, securing Hollenbeck Park street lighting. So stop being interruptive, stop being disruptive, and just pay attention. What about item 16, since you interrupted my time, since you're good at it? You know something? I'm running out of time. The hell with you. The hell with you.
Next speaker, please. Claudia Hamstring, Chuck Trujillo, Ada Murillo, Andrew Graebner, Donald Harlan, Herman Greenspan, Clark Rabbi, and Greener Plans.
Snyder versus Phelps, you're going to hell. God hates you. Now, in the term Brandenburg versus Ohio, US 395, 444, 1969, is that hate speech that we're sending you back to the dark garden after you maliciously took arms to kill children, Israel? Now, shame on you. Just like in San Francisco, no one's crying out about homosexuality, but it's reality. God hates you. So when it comes to the terms and conditions of what this city has done to the population of people today with homelessness, you are disgusting. Homelessness is a crime. Homelessness is a crisis. Well, maybe if we would have left it up to our former president, Trump, maybe none of this would have happened. Maybe we would not be in the dark garden any longer.
Next speaker.
Yeah, so I'll give my general public comment at the end of the meeting, so it's not at or near the beginning of the meeting anymore. So you're now in violation of Council Rule 7, Paul. It's, you love that rule so much when you're using it to violate people's rights, but, when it tells you have to do something, then all of a sudden Council Rule 7 doesn't matter, and you don't actually have to follow it. But we need a 2/3 vote of the council, of the full council, to change the rules. And, if Eunices Hernandez wasn't such a coward, she could probably do a point of order and force the vote immediately. And we'll let the full council decide where general public comment should be, instead of just having Paul unilaterally decide this. Kevin needs to resign. He should have resigned a really long time ago. You all need to get him off this council.
Next speaker.
Mike Greenspan. First of all, I want to welcome Ramen Noodle's brother, who's visiting here from Frisco. Welcome. Anyway, now where's our mayor? Mayor Grandstand, that's the one. The one who talks a good game about homeless but does nothing. What do you mean? Well, there was this homeless person, Anthony Garcia, and this unpaid caseworker, Armando Herman, and he approached Eduardo with Mayor Grandstand's office. And what did Eduardo do here's a mayor talking about vouchers, and when Mr. Herman tried to get a voucher for his friend, Eduardo jerked his dick, of course. Well, how did Mr. Garcia get housed? Well, you wouldn't believe whose office got it done. Kevin De Leon. We always want to diss on him, but he gets stuff done. He does it a lot better than anyone else on this council, the guys who jerk their dicks.
Thank you for not taking my call during the items. Of course, petty pink-faced, corrupt Armenian dictator Paul KKK Ku Klux Krikorian has changed the rules again. Anything to shut the public up in this circus of a corrupt, sleazy council. Anything to shut the public up. These stupid presentations. You have multiple Brown Act violations on top of Brown Act violations. Corruption going to the LAPD. When people are dying, 3 to 8 people are dying in the streets, and petty pink faces sitting there letting Current Price vote daily when he's an indicted criminal, putting a public comment at the end so he can disguise more of his corruption. Petty pink face, corrupt Armenian
Caller, your time has
Next
expired.
caller, please.
Plug-
Next caller.
Next caller, please begin your 1 minute.
Okay, well, I would just like to thank Councilmember Nithya Raman's brother for being in attendance today because while her behavior not the best, she's, I think, chatting with Hugo as we speak, she's actually been a little more attentive than she tends to be because she's got family here watching her. So thanks for coming, although it was disappointing that she voted for the police funding motion when her last campaign was all about defunding the police. But hey, Nithya lying is no surprise to any of us. I just want to point out on item 20 that y'all voted on, there's no such thing as surplus land during a crisis. We don't have surplus land. Every inch of land we have needs to be used to house our unhoused residents. So this is a joke. The fact that you all voted saying we need to sell off this quote unquote surplus parcel shows how unserious you are all about housing the unhoused residents that are literally dying on the streets every day. We can be using every inch of public land and every resource we have.
Caller, your time
to
has
get these
expired.
Thank you. Next caller.
Yeah, hi, DanielGus.substack.com. And at 2 o'clock today, I'll be on 790 KABC, the John Phillips Show with John Phillips and Randy Wang, discussing the latest tumult at the LA Times and the three ways that this is going to turn out for the Times. One is likely and two are aspirational. But you know what? To the people who work on the film, detail at the parks in the city of Los Angeles, they're doing this obviously to keep you from getting overtime, which only matters to city council and Mayor Bass if you're a police officer or anything like that. But to them, you're not worthy, apparently, of overtime. So that's what that's about. Vote with someone else the next time your vote is called for, because this is what happened. And even Nithya's supporters, how many times has she voted along with Kevin De Leon and the LAPD and Hugo and Unisys? So this is what they do.
Thank you, Gus. Your time
Thanks
has
very
expired.
much. Next caller, please.
All items in general public comment.
So you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Yes, and a shout out to our police chief who's retiring. Yes? Yes. So long, nigger. Also, we're looking for a marriage license document for Mr. Fauble. If you see him, tell him we want the marriage license from Maui, Hawaii. And to the petty pink-skinned dictator, asshole cocksucker, we dedicate Pound Town by Sexy Red. Because, your goddamn butthole is brown and your petty pink-skinned clit is pink. You gotta go to Pound Town.
fucking Armenian dictator, Pound Town. Pound Town. Dumb motherfucker can't even do the rules.
Your time has
yo.
expired. Next caller.
Next speaker,
Yes,
please, and this will
thank
be our...
you.
No, cut him off, please. Next caller, please, and this will be our final caller. Any announcements? Councilmember De Leon.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Colleagues, as we experienced last week, Friday, a group of students came from the Academy of Media Arts. Incredibly impressive. The vast majority, if not all those students, black and brown students, primarily from not the neighborhoods of CD14, but rather from Crenshaw, from South LA and Watts. I know that we can all agree that they were so impressive in terms of their articulation, how passionate they were, their composure, the way they carry themselves. I participated on a Zoom call with many of the parents yesterday, Monday, on MLK Day, and I can say that with deep sadness, the director of the Academy of Media Arts announced that they will actually be closing down the school. The fiscal restraints were so profound because of the security breaches that, upon finding out, had been numerous, that many of the parents have pulled their kids out for fear of their safety, and even funders. So I think he's trying to get some breathing room to see how he can figure it out fiscally. I went there last week, Friday, around 6:30 p.m. I was blown away by the physical facility. It was actually quite impressive. And I know I did a couple of videos. The concert room that they had looked like a little mini Walt Disney concert hall. The cafeteria room, the science room, just incredibly impressive. I did tour the breaches of security adjacent to the LA Grand Hotel. We had, my chief of staff had a conversation with the CEO of the Weingart Center, Senator Kevin Murray, and unfortunately, they are making that decision. It's hopefully, crossing our fingers, they will come back. I don't know if they're going to come into H&H on Wednesday or not. I have no idea. But what is a little particularly upsetting, I would say, Mr. President and colleagues, is that the former chief of homelessness for the city of LA, Mercedes Marquez, was well aware of this situation, as I was told to me, had been taken there after much pleading, had gone there, had gone through the whole tour, had been shown the security points of breach of unhoused individuals who are either severely schizophrenic, super high, and running into the classrooms where they had to close the doors, lock the doors for the fear and security of the students, which you all heard here just last week. So it is particularly upsetting for me, and I'm sure for other folks now, upon hearing that upon pleading for months and months and months, we're looking through all the emails now, that even the chief of homelessness went down there herself, and still nothing happened at all whatsoever. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't know if their counsel is going to litigate, against the city of LA or not. I have no clue whatsoever, but I just wanted to make that report out. That I know that we were left with very impressed with these young black and brown students from the Crenshaw. And I didn't even know, I thought they were from City 14 area. They're primarily from South LA, Watts, and Crenshaw, but too much consternation nonetheless. But I wanted to give that report back, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.